And so you cannot be a leader without leading first. And you cannot be a great leader without first setting the example and being the one to do the things that need to get done. Your team has to see that you are willing to do these things first. Don't be the one that says, do as I say, not as I do. Welcome to Blowing the Lid, the podcast where limits don't exist and playing small is not an option. I'm Cleris Sanchez, speaker, entrepreneur, and your personal hype woman, here to push you past fear and into the life you know that you're meant for. If you've ever felt stuck, doubted your path, or wondered if you're meant for more, the answer is yes. Here, we don't just talk about transformation, we live it. Whether you're ready to go all in or just need that first spark, this is your space to rise, take action, and claim what's yours. So grab your headphones, get ready to break through, and let's step into your power right freaking now. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Blowing the Lid podcast with me, your host, Cleris Sanchez. And I am so excited that you guys are here with me for another week. I know the episode is dropping late. This is Monday and it was supposed to drop on Wednesday, but it has just been a super crazy, hectic week. I actually hosted our first ever booth at a trade show for our company, AXA Solutions, on Thursday. And so that just took a ton of planning and a lot of effort and energy. But we actually won Best Booth. The theme was lights, camera, action. And so we did the movie Elf because I love that movie and it's just so fun. And I thought, okay, this would be a really good booth theme. I think it would be really fun to make it fun. And our booth was super interactive. Like we had games to play with all of the attendees. And it was great being able to meet everybody from the community, the different property managers and leasing managers and such. And so we had a great time. And I know we are going to reap the benefits of all of the effort that we put into that. And so, with that being said, let's get into today's episode. Today, we are going to talk about something that is going to give you time and brain processing power back. You will be set apart from the crowd, and you will not only be surprising the people around you, you will very quickly start to surprise yourself. And so, this episode is about being the one. If you haven't been the one in the past, now is your time. And if you have been the one in the past, hopefully, now you'll start to get some help. And I want you to know that being the one did not go in vain. In fact, it's a massive benefit. And so when you decide to be the one, life honestly gets so much easier. See, because there are so many people that are waiting for someone else to be the one to do the thing that needs to get done, especially if it's a thing that isn't exactly anyone's job. And so when they're faced with having to make that decision, okay, do I do it? Do I not do it? It's this thinking game of, should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I leave it for someone else to do? And that entire thought process that literally probably takes 30 seconds, sometimes the amount of time that it would take to actually do the thing that needs to get done, is taking up so much more energy and brain power than it would to just be the one that does it. If you're automatically questioning, should I do this or should I not do it in terms of that's going to help or, something that is good, just do it. The reason you're thinking about it is because you know that you should do it. Should I pick this up from the floor? Yes, I should. Should I change the toilet paper roll? Yes, you should. Okay? And so let me explain. I'll start with my famous toilet paper roll example. And so to be or not to be the one who changes the toilet paper roll. It sounds super easy and why is this even a question? I have asked that myself many, many times. Well, You may or may not be surprised, but there are so many people that do not do this. They wait for someone else to do it. Whether they realize that they're doing this or not isn't the question. See, because this is such an easy and simple thing to do, but still, so many people don't. And they leave it for the next person to do it. Because since it's easy to do, it's even easier not to do. And then you have the person that does bring in a new rule, right? They're like, okay, rule needs to be changed. I'm going to bring in a new one. But cannot, for whatever reason, put it where it belongs. Take the time to actually place it in the toilet paper holder. Instead, they leave it on the counter, on the floor, or behind the toilet seat, the apparent unofficial second home. And so, if you're the person that doesn't change the role and you leave it for someone else, or you just place it wherever because it would take too much effort to put it where it actually belongs, or you just may not be aware that this is incredibly annoying and frustrating, to say the least, for the people that come in after you and are left with either no toilet paper or searching until they find where it is that you left it at this time. And so this is your nudge. This is your cue. This is your, hey, I'm tapping you on the shoulder. I'm elbowing you. Start doing it. Because this is, in fact, a task that everybody would benefit from. And it only takes a few seconds. I'm telling you, this right here would change the lives of so many. It would impact so many marriages. It would decrease less stress. I know for women, at least, whenever a lot of us walk into the bathroom and we see like really nobody can change the role or nobody can put it where it goes, it's like, oh my God, like why? It's a small thing, but it can cause big stress just because it's like the icing on the cake, right? It's the thing that like topples it over. And so you might think that things like this don't matter because it's so small, but the small things, how you do them, is usually how you do the big things. Whatever. Don't put much effort into it. Usually you're kind of like that about the big things too. And so be the one who takes the initiative and changes the role and places it where it belongs. Because like I said, it's not only going to benefit you, right? Because it's going to benefit you beyond you having the role there for next time. It's going to benefit you because of the way that the people around you will start to feel and start to notice that, oh, they don't usually do this. And now they are. Now they're like feeling different. Now there's not as much stress. Now there's not as much high tense, right? Like going to the bathroom should really be the least stressful thing that we do in our entire days. And so when you start to do this, and if you don't already, I think that you'll start to see a big change as long as you do it consistently. And so when you start doing the small things like this and showing up differently in the bathroom, you're going to quickly start to see the other places in your life where you are showing up differently. And maybe where you were previously slacking or taking a shortcut, and you'll show up a different person there too. And so if you want to truly see what your potential is and you aren't sure what areas you maybe need to grow in, just show up differently here first. Start with a toilet paper roll. It's easy. And every time you go and you take that last square and you're like, I'll leave it. Think back to this moment and say, I wonder what could happen if I start making this small change, and throw the roll away, grab a new one, and put it down. Right? Because I think sometimes we also don't do these small things because we think it's just going to take too much time. And in reality, it isn't. We just build it up in our heads, much like we do everything else in life. We build it up in our heads when And then you find out when you're actually doing the thing, like, oh, it actually wasn't that bad. It wasn't that crazy. It wasn't that annoying. It wasn't that whatever it is that we think it is. And so next, we have stepping over something that is on the floor. Okay? Whether it's trash, a toy, anything, it doesn't matter. If it doesn't belong there and you see it enough to not let your foot step on it, then just pick it up. It doesn't actually matter that you weren't the one who put it there or that you don't know where it goes. Because I'll tell you what, you know where it doesn't go? On the floor. It is clearly a very easy thing not to do because so many people don't. And so many arguments are started from this. And so be the one that does it. Imagine everything that you would avoid if you actually did all of these small things in life that you think don't really matter. If you did them, oh my God, life would be so different. Life would be so, so different. I think people in relationships would be a lot happier because now they're like, that's one less thing that you're having to argue about. Now they're like, oh, wait, they picked that up. It's crazy how you will start to surprise the people around you. And so the thing is that if you can skip over something that's on the floor, what else are you skipping over in your life? Whether that's at work, in your relationships, anywhere. Be the one who lets nothing get past you. Imagine if you start doing this and you're changing the toilet paper roll and placing it where it belongs, throwing the old one away. Oh, God. These two in combination, like I said, would just change the relationships and home life of so many people. And from there, it's just a ripple effect of what it will lead you to and who it will actually lead you to being. Because when you start doing things differently, you are becoming a different person. And so next, we have the mess that's left in the microwave, whether this is at home or in the office. Now, I know there's a lot of people who don't work inside of an office anymore, and of course, some that still do. But the translation for virtual employees would be like giving the customer a runaround because you aren't the one who handles what they're asking about. I'm not telling you to do someone else's job, but instead of telling the client to, oh, contact this person or reach out to this email, just CC the person that is in charge that will handle it, right? Like, have that warm connection, that warm transfer. Transfer them over on the phone directly and ensure that you get someone instead of just like having them leave the 10th voicemail in a row. Making sure, taking that extra step to make sure that the client gets the help that they need. And so that makes such a massive difference for the customer when they're thinking about their experience with your company, especially when they're deciding whether or not to renew with you. They're going to be thinking back to those moments when they needed your help and how did your team respond? Okay, now back to the microwave. First of all, if you're the person who made the mess, then you definitely need to be the one who cleans it. But if that person doesn't hear this and therefore doesn't do it, one, send it to them. Okay, send it to them. But two, you are listening to this. Then you can be the one to do it. I know that sounds annoying. I know that it does, cleaning up somebody else's mess. But what I can tell you is that a person that leaves that is a person that is showing blatant disregard and disrespect, honestly, to the office and to their coworkers. That likely isn't the only mess that they're leaving. I mean, honestly, if they can do that, that shows their character, and they're very likely leaving messes in other places in the workplace and in their home. And so it's more likely than not that that person will not be there long. And while everyone else in the office is looking for who to blame and no one wants to take responsibility, and you're the one that takes the 30 seconds to go and clean it, you automatically become the leader. Automatically, right away, you are viewed differently by everyone in the office. And then they start thinking, oh, he or she just went and cleaned it? They just cleaned it like that? Yes, because it doesn't require all this back and forth. It just needs to get done. See, responsibility is something that so many people stray away from. Yet they said that they want promotions, they want more money. Some people even want to have their own business. But how in the world can you be trusted to lead if you can't take the 30 seconds that it takes to wipe down a microwave? And like I said, this goes for at home and in the office, right? Everything that you do here should start at home first. And so if you have a business that you want to be successful, then you definitely need to be the one that does these things. Because leading a company, even more so, like I said, a company that you want to be successful, is a totally different arena. And like I said, I get it. I get not wanting to do it. Nobody wants to do these things. Nobody wants to do these things. Okay. The people that have always done it, do you think they want to do it? No. They do it because it has to get done. And again, because these things are so easy to do, because they're usually easy and simple. They're even easier not to do. And that's what most people go with. And so that is why the ones that do are automatically set apart from everyone else. My dad always said that if you want to differentiate yourself from the crowd, be the one that takes the initiative. Be the one that does what everyone else is ignoring. While everyone else is, tap dancing, that's what he calls like making excuses and looking for who to blame. Be the one that finds the solutions. Everyone can complain and blame someone else. It's the ones that solve the problems that are called higher. Now, let's look at the other side of this. If you are the one with a company, who would you promote and take seriously and want to pay more money to? The ones that are constantly complaining and avoiding responsibility for small things, yet tell you that they want a promotion, or the ones that you see just do the things without you having to ask? I'll tell you, we own a business, right? We own XA Solutions, and Mario is always looking to see who he can promote, who he can give more responsibility to, and pay them more money, right? Because it saves him so much time, so much energy, so much stress that it pays for itself. It's 1000% worth it. And so you might think that, oh, the owner or the manager isn't watching, but they are. He is always watching, even when no one realizes that he's watching. And so you cannot be a leader without leading first. And you cannot be a great leader without first setting the example and being the one to do the things that need to get done. Your team has to see that you are willing to do these things first. Don't be the one that says, do as I say, not as I do, because literally that makes no sense. I don't know who started that, why that is even a thing, and it's grown. And I think that has negatively impacted a lot of people in life because that's not how it works. And you know that, for example, you don't do what other people say, you do what other people do. And so you need to do the things that you want other people to do. You need to do the things that you want people to follow you doing. If you don't want somebody else to do what you're doing, then don't do it. Do what you say first. People follow actions, not words. Okay, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. I hope you have something that you can take away from here. If there's anybody that needs to hear this, they need to be the one to change the toilet paper roll, to pick the stuff off the floor, because this isn't, like I said, it's not just about those small things. Those things ripple into all of the other areas of our lives. And so send this to them, a little hint, hint, wink, wink. If you got this, wink, wink, you know what you should be doing. And a couple of things. So I am providing initiative workshops in a fun and funny way for teams virtually and in person. So if you are interested in something like that for your team, please just reach out to me. And if you know that your team isn't showing up in their best way for themselves and for the company and your clients. And so, changing these things really make a massive, massive impact in the way that people show up. So reach out to me. I would be happy to help. And secondly, I am actually going to be hosting our first ever live podcast episode on November 8th in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And I'm super excited. The theme is rewriting the rules. And I'm going to be interviewing two amazing women that you'll be able to learn so much from. Nancy, she is the owner of the best coffee shop in town, Vagabond, located in downtown Fayetteville. It's my favorite. It's one that I go to literally every single day. And then Cheryl Gleason, who built and grew an incredibly successful property management company and exited. She's now the director of strategic partnerships, and she spends a lot of time giving back to the community. They both have amazing stories and a journey that we could all learn from. And so it would be so great to have you there. I promise that you are going to have an amazing time and leave with a lot of things that you'll be able to implement right away in your life and in your business and to grow personally. And so I will post the link in the show notes for the tickets. And I love you guys so much. If you got anything, please leave a review. That means so much to me. Literally, I wish you guys could see me. Every time that I get a new review, I'm like so giddy. I'm jumping up and down. I'm like a kid that just got a present. And so I love, 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 love you guys. And I will see you on the next episode. Mwah. That's a wrap for today's episode of Blowing the Lid with me, your host, Cleris Sanchez. You've got the tools and the fire lit. Now it's time to step into your next level and design a bold and fulfilling life. No more waiting for permission. It's your time to take action, even when it's scary. You've got this, and I'm here to remind you anything is possible. If this episode lit a fire in you, share it with someone who needs that same energy. Subscribe so you never miss a dose of transformation, and follow me on Facebook at Cleris Sanchez or on Instagram at Blowing the Lid for more inspiration in between episodes. Until next time, keep rising, keep transforming, and thrive like you were born to. See you soon. Mwah.